Assalamu alaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Peace be upon you, and Allah's mercy and blessings. Hi, my brothers. Today I will tell you an amazing story from Syria. But before that, please subscribe to this channel. Thank you. Since ancient times until now, the pilgrimage season has always left extraordinary stories that are full of emotion and full of wisdom. Different from other Fardu worship, the pilgrimage service is one of the pillars of Islam that must be performed by Muslims who can afford it. In order for the pilgrimage to be accepted by Allah, each pilgrim must fulfill the 6 pillars of Hajj and cannot be replaced with other practices. Starting from Ihram, Wukuf, Thawaf, Sa'i, Tahalul and orderly according to the order. Everything must be fulfilled so that the pilgrimage is valid and accepted by Allah. You know, there is one amazing pilgrimage story. Thanks to the practice of a shoemaker, the worship of all pilgrims that year was accepted by Allah Ta'ala. How come? Here's the story. This story begins when a famous scholar had a dream after completing one of the Hajj rituals in Mecca. He rested and fell asleep. He is Abdullah bin Mubarak, a great scholar. In his sleep, Abdullah bin Mubarak dreamed of seeing 2 angels descending from the sky. He heard the conversation of the 2. How many came this year? Asked the other angel. 700,000. Answered the other angel. How many of them whose Hajj pilgrimage is accepted? One angel replied. Not one. Hearing this conversation, Abdullah bin Mubarak trembled. He cried in his dream. All these people have come from faraway parts of the earth, with great hardship and fatigue along the way, wandering through the vast deserts, and all their efforts have been in vain. He said, shaking. Then one angel said, but there was a man, although he did not come to perform the Hajj, his pilgrimage was accepted and all his sins were forgiven. Thanks to him, all 700,000 pilgrims were accepted by Allah. How come? Who is this person? Asked the other angel. One angel said, that man is a shoemaker in the city of Damascus. Hearing the angel's conversation, Abdullah bin Mubarak immediately woke up. After the pilgrimage, he went straight to the city of Damascus, Syria. Upon arrival, Abdullah bin Mubarak found out who the shoe solemaker the angel had mentioned in his dream was. In history it is stated that the shoe solemaker was named Sa'id bin Mahafa. Almost all shoe solists were asked by Abdullah bin Mubarak if there was a shoe solist whose name was Sa'id bin Mahafa. There, on the edge of town, answered one of the shoe soles while indicating the direction. Once there, the cleric found a shabby dressed cobbler. Is it true that your name is Sa'id bin Mahafa? Asked the cleric. Right. Who are you, sir? I am Abdullah bin Mubarak. Sa'id was touched. You are a well-known scholar. What's wrong with coming to me? Abdullah Mubarak was confused. Where did he start his question? Finally he told about his dream. I want to know, is there anything you have done that deserves the reward of Hajj Mabrur? Well, I don't know myself, sir. Tell me how your life has been so far. So Sa'id bin Mahafa told me. Every year, every season of Hajj, I always hear, Labika Allahumma labaik. Labaika la syarika laka labaik. Inal hamda wanamata laka wal mulk. La syarika lak. O Allah, I came because of your call. You have no partner. All favors and praise belong to you and your power. You have no partner. Every time I hear that sentence, I always cry. Oh Allah, I miss Mecca. Oh Allah, I miss seeing the Kaaba. Allow me to come, oh Allah. Since tens of years ago, every day I set aside money from my work as a cobbler. Little by little I collect. Finally this year, I have 350 dirhams, enough for me to make Hajj. I am ready to go on pilgrimage. But you cancelled your pilgrimage? Asked Abdullah Mubarak. Right. What happened? My wife is pregnant, and she often has cravings. When I was about to leave, she had heavy cravings. My husband, do you smell this delicious cooking? Yes, dear. Try to find out who cooked it so it smells delicious like this. Ask me for some. I also looked for the source of the cooking smell. It turned out that it was coming from a shack that was almost collapsing. There was a widow and her 6 children. I told her that my wife wanted the food she had cooked, even if it was a little. Hearing my request, the widow kept silent and looked until I finally repeated what I said. Finally she slowly said, "No, sir." And I said, "If you sell it, I'll buy it." "This food is not for sale, sir," she said with tears in her eyes. I was surprised and asked why. While crying, the widow said, "This meat is lawful for us and unclean for you," she said. Inside I was confused. How can there be food that is halal for her, but haram for me, even though we are both Muslims? So I pressed her again, "Why is that?" The widow replied, "Sir, we haven't eaten for several days. There is no food at home. Today we saw a dead donkey, so we took some of its meat to be cooked. For us this meat is halal, because if we don't eat it we will starve to death. But for you, sir, this meat is unclean." Hearing these words, I immediately cried and rushed home. At home, I told the incident to my wife. She also cried after hearing my story. We finally cooked food and went to the widow's house. Together with the food we brought, I also gave them the money allocated for the pilgrimage of 350 dirhams. Use this money for you and your family. Use it for business, so you don't starve anymore. After handing over the food and money to her, I went home and immediately meditated on Allah. I'm sorry about what happened to me. Oh Allah, here is my Hajj. Oh Allah, this is my Mecca. Hearing this story, Abdullah bin al-Mubarak could not hold back his tears. He said to Said bin Mahafa, "Then you really deserve the reward of Hajj Mabrur." This is a very famous and full of wisdom story. This story is a true story that was directly told by Abu Abdurrahman Abdullah bin al-Mubarak al-Hanzali al-Marwazi, a well-known scholar in Mecca. From this story we can take several lessons. Sa'id bin Mahafa really wanted to be able to perform the pilgrimage. Every year he always cried because he missed Mecca, so first there must be a desire or intention to be able to carry out the pilgrimage to the holy land of Mecca. Then Sa'id bin Mahafa collects money little by little. In other words, the second lesson is that the intention is not only limited to the intention but also must be proven by raising funds so that the plan is realized. And the last and most important lesson is sincerity in worshipping Allah. This is proven by Sa'id bin Mahafa, where he gave up the property he loved to help others. He gave up his beautiful plans to help his neighbors. This is real worship. May this story be a lesson for all of us, inspiring us to truly worship Allah. Amen.